If you're trying to build a brand that really stands out, one that actually connects with people, you need a lot more than just a great product. You need a compass. So in this explainer, we're going to build that compass together by mastering brand consistency. Let me ask you a question, and be honest. Does your brand ever feel, well, invisible? I mean, you could have the most incredible product in the world, but in a market this crowded, it's just so hard to get noticed, right? The reality for most of us, especially if we're trying to grow a business, is that the digital world feels like this dense fog. You're completely surrounded by fierce competition, the tech is changing every 5 minutes, and you're under all this pressure to find a clear path forward. It's incredibly easy to get lost.
But getting lost in this digital fog isn't just some abstract idea. It has real, tangible, and pretty serious consequences for your business. So what exactly are we talking about here?
Well, without that clear guide, your marketing just gets inefficient. You're basically throwing money at things that don't connect. And even worse, that trust you have with your customers, it starts to erode. And when that happens, growth doesn't just stall, it can come to a grinding halt. But here's the good news. There is a seriously powerful tool that can cut right through all that fog. It's time we talk about your brand's true DNA, the Corporate Identity System, or CIS for short.
I absolutely love this quote because it just reframes the whole idea of what a brand is. So many of us get stuck thinking it's just a logo and maybe some brand colors, but that's like confusing what a person is wearing with who they actually are. A real brand identity, it goes so much deeper.
So what is a corporate identity system? Let's break it down. It's basically a strategic framework. Its whole job is to pull together everything your brand stands for, its core philosophy, the way it acts, the way it looks, and merge it all into one single, powerful, and totally cohesive identity. And here's how it all fits together. A really strong CIS is built on 3 core pillars. First, you've got the mind. This is your why, your mission, your values. Next up is behavior. That's your how, the way you actually act and serve your customers. And finally, you have the visuals. Your look, which is everything from the logo to the website's design. When your why, your how, and your look are all perfectly in sync, that's when you have a truly authentic brand. Okay, so what's the big payoff here? This isn't just some academic exercise. Getting this stuff right gives you a massive competitive advantage that directly impacts your bottom line. In fact, there are 4 mission-critical reasons to invest in your CIS, like right now. A strong identity helps you totally dominate your niche because you become memorable. It builds unshakable trust because customers see that you're consistent. It makes your marketing efficiency just skyrocket because every single thing you do works together. And all of that, it combines to create real, lifelong customer loyalty. And here's the crucial point. People today are skeptical. They can smell inauthenticity from a mile away. So when your brand looks, sounds, and acts the same on your website, on your social media, and in person, you build this foundation of trust. And that, my friends, is something that no amount of ad money can ever buy. All right, enough with the theory. Let's see how this stuff works in the real world. I want to walk you through a case study of a company that used this exact framework to completely transform their business. Okay, so this case study is all about a leading medical tech company, and their challenge was a classic one. They were a really successful traditional brand, but they desperately needed to modernize for the digital age, especially as they were expanding globally. The solution? A full-blown CIS overhaul, focusing on absolute, non-negotiable consistency everywhere. And get this was not some small startup. This company already owned a staggering 35% of the entire market. Just think about that for a second. Even as a dominant market leader, they knew they couldn't just stand still. They knew they had to evolve. And the results were, well, they were transformative. Their visual identity became unified, giving them this incredible, powerful presence at huge international trade shows. Their brand behavior got a massive upgrade with a new app for their service technicians, making sure they always delivered on their promise of great service. But here's the masterstroke. They forged an emotional connection by getting their product placed in a major Hollywood movie, turning a piece of medical equipment into a cultural icon. So how can you get these kinds of results? I'm glad you asked. Here is your clear 5-step blueprint for building your own bulletproof brand consistency. So here's your action plan. Step 1, anchor your why. Get crystal clear on your mission. Step 2, build a visual toolkit that's made for a digital-first world. Step 3, map out your brand's behavior at every single customer touchpoint, no exceptions. 4, create a brand Bible that becomes your single source of truth for everything. And finally, Step 5, use data to listen, to learn, and to constantly tweak your strategy to stay on course. Here's the key takeaway from all of this. In today's world, everybody has access to technology. That's a given. It's not what makes you special anymore. The ultimate differentiator, the one thing that will truly set you apart from the crowd, is a consistent, trustworthy brand that people actually believe in. So please, remember this. Putting time and resources into your corporate identity system, it isn't just another business expense on a spreadsheet. It is a direct, powerful investment in the long-term, sustainable future of your company. And that brings me to a final question I want you to really think about. As you navigate your own digital journey, what is the single biggest brand consistency challenge that you're facing right now? Because getting clear on that, well, that's your first step out of the fog.